Well, hello, twin flame people. Peace be upon you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. With the name of Allah, the source of everything existing. I begin this video. It's Friday again, and let me just say that I witnessed today battle of evil and good, battle of light and darkness, like in a 3D. They couldn't be more 3D than that, and at the same time, like how does that 5D, how does that higher realm, how does higher selves, how do they like download down into 3D, into physical form and battle like right in front of your eyes? Like, I gotta tell you guys what happened. um I'm cool now, but today I was like, my legs were shaking. It was so, I didn't cry. I kind of later on, I kind of wanted to burst into tears, but the feeling was not like in upper chakras. Like my whole body was upset, but I felt like why my legs were gonna give in. That's how upset I was, how much disturbed I was today. And at the same time, a lot of lessons learned, a lot of on a speed level, like on a speed dial, a lot of lessons learned today. Amazing. And not just today, but this whole week. But anyways, let's just say that my relationship with manifested twin is deepening. That's for sure. For this week, I have to say that he's been stabilized much more. On his side is more stable. Everything's more stable. Like, remember, 2 weeks ago was really, it was really like a lot of turbulations on his side. I explained that in the previous videos. Negative energy, devil, shaitan, whatever you call it. Auzubillah minash shaitan rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is a protection. These are the words of protection from the evil. You should learn it. Whether you're Muslim or not, you should learn these words. Auzubillah minash shaitan rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, which is asking a source of light to shield you from negative energies. And with the name of God. And so, yeah, he was being attacked, and through him, I was being attacked for the past 2 weeks. Now it's my turn, I guess, to get the hits on this side. He's been stable, he's been wonderful. Alhamdulillah, he was really working on our relationship for the past, I mean, this week. And deepening on all levels of understanding, and he's been really mature on he's very young. I mean, he's my manifest twin. He's only 23 years old, but he's been, I mean, of course I know that he's a really old soul, and uh that's, I mean, that's not relevant, because in this life he's only, in this current life he's only 23, so there's a lot of still things he has to learn. But on spiritual level, he's so mature that, you know, now. But on the relationship matters, he has no previous experience, so he's been really working on improving himself. I can see that he's trying his best, so that's all good. But what's happening with me, like right now, is first of all, let's say, no, I don't know. Have you heard that expression that when a woman, certain women of God, certain women who follow guidance of source and light, I heard the expression that says when a woman like that gets up in the morning, devil goes, oh shucks, she's up again. Oh darn, you know. And I'm kind of one of those women. I feel that way, and a lot of people will confirm that I'm a light barrier, and I work by doing like regular job that keeps me modest, just a regular daily job. I'm not a career person. I used to be, but I've changed my mind about that. Life's too short to chase after a career that you cannot take to grave with you or the next life. So I just love to do regular jobs and then interact with people, with normal, regular people, all kinds of people, you know. Uh, I maybe mentioned that in the previous few videos, like when they did statistics in my workplace, I have interacted and helped 2,837, I think, human beings in 1 month. So I think if I have left positive input and energy on at least 30% of them, that's a pretty nice number of people. And then these videos, of course, I hope they really, I pray they help someone and someone understands. So that's how I do my light working. Like, I just interact with people, and not just at work, it's street and daily life, in my mosque, in other people's workplaces where I visit. I mean, just be yourself. That's what this is all about. And then in a twin flame journey, or on, especially after you achieve reunion, and that energy is going to even highlight more and become stronger. So devil is working really hard right now to intercept reunion, because the reunion brings so much light. It's like an atomic bomb. Energy is so strong of each twin flame reunion, that it can destroy a lot of darkness, a lot of dark areas, and a lot of dark spots of energy, and a lot of darkness that surrounds people. It can be destroyed by reunion, because after reunion happens, the two of a kind twin flame couple, wherever they walk, they're going to be like bringing the torch of light within and without themselves. So in the wise words of my imam in my mosque today, the preacher, whatever you would say priest, Muslim priest, maybe you can label him as that. The word is imam, I-M-A-M. Funny, I just realized how that sounds. I am imam. Yeah, anyways, imam said today that the word jihad really translates as an inner struggle with the devil and outer struggle with the devil. So like, first you have to fight the devil within, and then you have to struggle. If you conquer that one, then you have to struggle the devil without. And so, as I really strongly feel, just like in the videos that I predicted that my union is approaching, that my twin is going to manifest, and he manifested within another. As hard as that is for some of you to digest, you will see as you progress on your journey that things like that are possible. It could be your original organic twin that will be manifested within that person, or it could be manifested within another person. It's possible. It's completely possible. And so I predicted the outcome of manifestation when you can look my videos that say reunion is nearing, or prepare yourself for reunion, or something like that. I call them because I was feeling it. There were many signs of that happening. So what am I saying? Yeah, then now I have to predict that physical reunion, 3D reunion, coming down into 3D, coming together is, I just heard in my head the song, "Come Together Right Now and Over Me," and I'm a bad singer, but you guys know the words of that song. You should look it up. Anyways, yeah, I can feel it, and because if nothing else, I can feel it because the signs of devil going berserk over this shaitan, evil, is going berserk over approaching physical union. It's like losing its mind, trying everything to prevent it from happening, because when the light hits, when the reunion happens in 3D, then we get all of our strength united, and then a lot of darkness is, as I said, I say again, a lot of darkness is going to be hit by light, and darkness can only be destroyed by light. You can only have, darkness leave your room if you turn the light on in your room, or light some candles in your room, and then darkness between becomes light. So darkness is really afraid of being destroyed and is trying everything to prevent. My phone was stolen by my coworker 2 days ago. I've been going through such upheaval and stress. I've went to police 3 times until they finally showed up, because we had camera record my workplace, and this person took my phone right behind my back, and she's my mother's age, and I cannot believe that such dishonesty still exists. And it was to distract me, it was to make me lose trust in people, but it doesn't work that way. I know that some people just simply have evil work through them, just like some people have angels work through them and say things through them, download words into them to be told. And so some work for light, some work for darkness. It's simple as that. And I'm not losing any trust in human beings just because of what that person did to me. That was the intention of the shaitan, I know that for sure, and to make me so much distressed that I will lose all the trust, and to prepare me for what I'm going to say now, to put the seed of distrust inside of me even stronger, and I will not let it. So what happened is, I think someone is spying on me right now, like one of my family members. Let me just close my door. Just give me guys a second, I'll be right back. Let me close my door. I'm right here, I'm not going anywhere. Which is the part of what I'm going to say right now. Which is now my family members are being hit hard. If I can even call them family members, I never feel close to my family. Not just now, not through my in-flame journey, but ever, because this family is not my soul family. I realize that now. I always used to joke and say, maybe I'm adopted, or maybe I'm sorry to everyone out there who's been through hard life, being adopted or something. But I mean, I used to say that because I didn't feel like I belonged to the family. The family that I have on this 3D life and dunya currently is such a dysfunctional family. Not a family of bad people, but family of good people that don't function well together. They're all good individually, but very bad together. And I'm in the midst of this quarrel that lasts for 45 or so years between two people who cannot absolutely stand each other, but the only thing they can stand about each other is constant fight, constant bickering, constant verbal offenses. And I don't understand why they don't let go and separate and let each other have freedom. But it's not mine to decide. It's just, I'm saying this effect. I've been through this all my life, and I've been a light between them all my life, and I'm tired of. I simply don't want to be. It's regardless of my manifested twin who is on another side of the planet. Besides that, that I want to go and reunite. I really don't feel happy by any means, no matter how happy I am with myself now, no matter how much I build up my light and how much I've worked on my inner body, my light body, my chakras. I cannot change the environment that I live in unless I leave that environment. That's just a fact of life. Like, it's not physically possible to leave. I can leave them spiritually, and I usually do, and I don't want to be part of their darkness, but I cannot, unless I physically leave, I cannot not hear things or not see things that they do, because it's not like that easy what the Bible says, see nothing wrong, you know, see no evil, hear no evil. It's not possible. I see it every single day. I've never had one day of peace with my parents. They're always constantly basically show hatred to each other, and I cannot understand why for 45 or so years someone can, how can they stand, but they live from this energy. They live off of each other's negative energy. This is what energy vampires do. And then they sucked it out of me for years, and I didn't realize it. And once I did, I started changing my life, changing my attitude, changing how I interact with them, being more careful not to be drained completely. And they know this now. They actually sometimes seek to drain my energy out, and I don't let them, and then they become weak. Because people like energy vampires, if you don't know what that means, please Google it. Energy vampires, they live off of other people's energy, bad energy. Because first they upset you, they produce a large amount of bad energy inside of you, and then they kind of suck it in and use it to have physical strength, to just survive on. It's like they're like spiritual parasites. And the more stronger I am, the more I balance my chakras. We don't resonate at all anymore, and I stay away as much as possible. In my own house, I'm kind of a hermit. I'm trying to stay away. I still communicate completely and fully with them, but I just try to protect myself spiritually and my light body wise. Like if they start, I just leave. I don't want to be present. I just move or go to work or go out of house. And that's what I recommend to all of you who have that. Don't be part of it. Don't be part of that drama they do, because I've noticed they want audience. They want, if I'm not around, they don't even do that so much. So anyways, I have a sibling who has left this kind of family many years ago. Well, now many years ago. It's kind of time flies, but like 7-8 years ago he left, and just about the same time I became more religious, and that has created huge gap between me and my sibling. He absolutely hates spirituality of any kind. He's very negative and bitter person. People who know both of us, they stop me on the street sometimes and they say, how is it possible? How is he such a negative person? How is he's so angry all the time? And I try to defend him. After all, he's my sibling. We come from the same nest, you know. I don't hate my brother. I wish the best for him, but I tell people, like, I give excuses for him simply because, you know, I still feel loyalty of kin and bloodline. But on the other hand, I don't know. I really don't know why. I try to give him excuses and I don't know. I just, again, I'm going to say some people work for light, some work for darkness, and people who know me, they cannot realize or understand that this is really my brother. Like, he's such an opposite. And he's not into any dark things. He's not. He lives like a very boring and like artificial life of being part of the matrix. But he just exudes a lot of darkness and a lot of negative anger and negative energy. And I'm not. He's the one who avoids me because he and his life partner, his wife, they cannot stand me. I know that. Not just only for physical reasons. There is some jealousy on her part, but also spiritual reasons, because darkness cannot stand light. It's very simple as that. And I tried everything to be nice. Kindness makes it worse. When you're kind to them, it seems to get on their nerves even more. Like, you try to be nice, buy them gift, invite them, go visit them. Nothing ever works. And so is what happened. My brother has completely abandoned his parents for about 5 or 6 years. He's a total stranger. He is not even. He's not even honest enough to break everything with them. But he's just avoiding them by all means. which is coordinated by his wife, and whom, by the way, he met on internet. Just like now, I met my manifested twin, and I'll come to the point very quickly now. And now he usually visits. Let's say on occasion of something breaking in the house, like appliance or something, my mother will call him, and if she begs him enough, he will come and do her a favor uh, of coming over and maybe looking into it or getting her a new appliance, which comes like, how often does your appliance break? That's how often he will come. He lives only maybe half mile away, and he completely ignores his family for Father's Days, Mother's Days, birthdays. He never wishes me birthday for years. His wife says her excuse is like, she just doesn't like people. She just doesn't like people, and she's very antisocial, and people get on her nerves. So we just try to live that way, and my mother seems to be suffering a lot because he's a firstborn, he's a son, the love of her life, which I completely understand. I tried to be a better daughter to my mother just to make her feel less, you know, in pain after her child. And how this pays back to me today. So my brother visits maybe once in 4 months, 5 months. Once he will show up for a few minutes, fix what's broken, and disappear again. And completely ignoring me, never communicating with me. I've never done anything to him. Do this besides being myself, being who I am. And I'm trying to accept that as a fact. It's kind of hard sometimes, but I accept that, and I still don't judge him. Whenever he comes, I'm still nice. I always say hi. How's your wife? How are you doing? I don't let it get to me. So anyways, today I am leaving the mosque, and my mother is like, she wants to go to eat lunch at the restaurant, which is a very, very good halal restaurant. Halal means food that is not forbidden to the Muslims, which is like a pure food. And the people who own the restaurant are family, who are praying family, people that I absolutely love. They love me back. And the night before, I was running from the meeting with some sisters, and my mother insisted to stop by for dinner there. She said she was hungry and craving their food, and the restaurant already closed. And what I call him uncle who owns the restaurant, and his son, they were just leaving, and they saw my car, and he said if I want, he will open the restaurant again and cook something for us. That's how much love. I'm getting goosebumps. That's how much love and brotherhood I feel from these people, wonderful people. So I said, no, please. I mean, we didn't know you now close early, so we will stop by tomorrow. So we came in the restaurant, and then the vortex started happening. If you guys know what the vortex means. Oh, hold on. My manifested twin is on, I think. Hold on, just a second. Yes. Just a second. I will continue this video in 1 second, okay? I gotta talk to my manifested twin and tell you what he says, okay? Love you guys. Alright, so that was my manifested twin again. You guys already know this. When we do this together, mashallah, then he, not knowingly, he doesn't know I make these videos. Well, I actually told him that I make some videos on Friday and post them on Saturday, but I didn't tell him details, and things that I don't want him to know, like things that I'm embarrassed to talk about. He never goes deeper into asking me too many questions about it. That's really interesting. That's how twin flames work, I guess. Like, once they balance well and think and feel off of each other, then, like in the beginning, we have those push and pull moments, and then mirroring each other in a bad way, like trying to like purge, and we hurt each other and push wrong buttons on our twin flames. and they do it to us, and then they mirror us our bad stuff, our stuff that needs to be cleared and purged. And then when that's done, when the work is done, they become your positive mirror. They become like things that you are bothered with, the things that you don't want to talk about. They don't go in there. They leave you alone. They just don't ask you questions about things that they know will upset you, and vice versa. So because I wouldn't feel comfortable telling him about this right now, and he just he just kind of respects that privacy that I have about my videos, and he doesn't go deep into asking me too much about it. He knows I'm doing it, but he doesn't know what time. So when he calls, this is just it's not coincidence. It's just this energy, you know. So anyway, he was just touching bases with me. He's gonna go to pray right now, mashallah, and taking break from lunch break from work, and this is just, as I told you, balanced, alhamdulillah, mashallah. So back to what happened at the restaurant. I'm sorry guys, I just kind of I take you out of the concept, and now let's go back in the topic. So in the restaurant, vortex started happening. Vortex is that being at the right place at the right time, manifesting, you know, that special reality kind of thing, synchronicity. So synchronicity started happening because the first person that walked in as we ordered food was my old imam, Sheikh, that a teacher, spiritual teacher from my first mosque. Amazing man, always smile on his face. For all of you who are Muslim, you know what it means to be sunnah. The sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad was that he was super nice with everyone, that he was smiling at people, treating everyone as loyalty, as royalty, and everybody felt great in his presence, like the most important people in the world. That's sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this man, this Somali imam, Muslim priest, he always has smile on his face. He always treats everyone as the most important person in the world, and I know him for many years, and he's been very important in my life, an important figure in my life as a role model, and someone who gives me a lot of good positive energy. And I was mentioning him to my manifested twin the night before, just like the night before, because my manifested twin told me about the man, like a spiritual teacher. He said he's not my friend, he's a very old guy, he's someone I look up to, and he's president of Islamic school in Bangladesh, in Dhaka. He's our, you know, he's a madrasa. Madrasa is the name for Islamic school. He said he's madrasa director, and I went to visit my sister there, and he prayed with me and told me he's going to pilgrimage. And then he told me how he gave him so much good energy and good light, and I said, these are the light workers, these are the leaders, the people who just by being in their presence you receive their light. And then I told him about my Sheikh Ali, my first Sheikh, my first Imam, and less than 24 hours later, he's manifested in the restaurant and super happy to see me. And then he's asking about my manifested twin. He's asking how I feel about going to Bangladesh. How am I excited? He said he's praying for me that everything goes well. He's telling my mother, he looks at her and he's saying, you know, I'm praying that you accept this union and that you should be happy for your daughter. And so he's supporting me, you know, because I recently told him. So that's the light. That's the person who supports the reunion, the person who sheds the light on the matter. And then next, who walks in the restaurant is a husband of my friend that I mentioned to you guys, a model. I mentioned her maybe very many videos ago when I started talking about sacral chakra guy, and I talked about her, how she's an ex-model, a magazine model. She's changed a lot since then. She's a Muslim, she's a convert, and how she was jealous of me since she has a very young husband, and how I, you know, how Well, I try to understand, but it's still like how she would not let me be friends or talk to him, how she shows signs of jealousy. It's amazing how ego destroys relationships, although she loves me too. And sometimes she's distracted by this jealousy to fully be my friend. And because she wants to be my friend, but she doesn't want her husband to be present around me. It's simple as that. And I told you guys about that before. And now when I recently told her about my manifested twin, she completely, absolutely did not support my happiness. She completely, she didn't even see his picture. She was not even interested to hear about him. She was simply not happy that I was happy. She was simply not happy for my happiness. And I saw that, and I realized that she's not the only one. I've seen in this journey now, what you can learn in this journey is really who is your friend and who is not your friend, who is your fiend. You can see in this journey of twin flames will open it will open your eyes on many people. When you want to be reunited with your twins, they don't support you. They're not what you think they were. And I had my best friend overseas in Europe who completely, after I told her about my manifested twin, completely now ignores me, completely doesn't want to hear anything. She is absolutely not happy that I'm happy. And you will run into people like this in your life. You think they love you, you think they're your friends, and then they show that your happiness bothers them, your happiness hurts them. So this ex-model friend of mine is in the same category. She did not feel happy when I told her my nice news, and she after that ignored me, didn't call me, didn't ask me anything. And now she runs into restaurant with her husband and 2 babies. She's happily married. She has 2 babies. She's younger than me. And shouldn't she want the same for me? Shouldn't she want me to have family, to have a child of my own? If she loves me as she always claims, I love you, I love you, I love you, you're my favorite, you're my favorite. And now she walks in and she sees me and I look excellent, because the whole concept of, I say Masha'Allah, thank God, the whole concept of nearing reunion also gives me a lot of light that surrounds me. A lot of people give me compliments these days, and she's like, again, giving me that jealous look, but at the same time loves to talk to me, because as a person, she loves me as a person. I know that. And I love her too. I want to, I've always wanted our friendship to work. And then her husband is kind of always like forbidden to talk to me. He's forbidden to look at me. And it kind of just gives this all awkward situation. And she walked in and she sat down with her kids, and a little girl, her older one, she hugged me. She misses me because they moved too far away from the city, and they only occasionally visit city, and they don't ever visit me again. I miss them too. And then I was still waiting for our food to arrive, my mother's food and my food, and I know that they called ahead and their food was already prepared for them, so they just started eating their food. And she started asking me about my manifested twin, since I told her recently. And when I said that I was getting my passport ready, she jumped and she says, "Oh, I am completely against that. I completely don't support this." She said it right there in the middle of the restaurant. And she said, "I completely don't like that." And my mother looked at her, and then she turned to my mother and called her disrespectfully, as always. She called her by first name. And because I say not disrespectfully just because she called her by first name, but because she showed a couple of times disrespect for my mother. Like, my mother would hand a little candy to her daughter who is not allowed to eat any candy, and she would yell at my mother, who could actually be her grandmother. That's how much older my mother is from her. And call my mom by first name and say, "You don't, give her that." And she's very manipulative and controlling woman. I understand she wants her children to eat healthy, and I eat organic food as well, and I stay away from sugar. And I understand that children It's not healthy for them, but it's also not healthy to be Nazi to your children and yell in front of them when someone offers them a candy. You know, one candy is not going to kill a child, but a lot of stress could actually kill, just like it kills adults, it can kill children too, or give them traumatic experiences. So you know, take it easy, people. You can adjust your kids' diets or your own diets without being diet or sugar Nazis. You know, just don't yell at your kids if someone offers them a candy. Of course, it's not a stranger. But anyway, she showed sign of disrespect to my mother before, and she calls her by first name. And one time, she made my mother cry by saying that my mother's English is broken English, that she didn't understand her voice message. And I don't know. I don't want to go into many details about her life. I don't want to trash about her. It's just she again called my mom by first name, and nobody else does that. Especially in Islam, they call her mom. They call her Jenna's mom. They say Mrs. You know, or sister, and she called her just by first name, like, you know, totally like she always does, out of respect. And then she says, why do you support this? Why do you don't show your you know, control over this? Why do you let her do this? And I'm older than her myself, and I looked at her and like I'm thinking, wow, you act like I'm a child, and you're patronizing me and telling my mother to stop me. I'm adult for a long time now. I've been adult, and I didn't just turn 18 yesterday. I've been 18 more than twice. And I'm like, it's in the middle of a restaurant, and the people who own the restaurant respect me highly. I respect them highly. And she started this scene. She said, call my mom by first name. She says, how can you support this? And then, and I forgot to say, moments before that, before she showed up at the restaurant, a woman and a man sitting there with a child. And I noticed the child looks like my manifested twin would maybe look like when he was a baby, same facial features. And I asked them where they were from, and they said they were from Bangladesh, just like my manifested twin. And I started talking to a woman, and I took a picture of a boy, and he's adorable. And his name means innocence in my language, which is strange because in their language it's NEVIN, and NEVIN in my language in Europe means innocent. A virgin boy, virgin girl, you know. NEVIN is someone completely free of sin. And for me, later I will realize that was a message from God, because I talked to a woman and I talked to a man, and I'll come back to my friend just in a second. And I talked to them just before my friend showed up with her husband, and again, I had a clash of light and darkness. Husband, his name is Rashid. He was very nice and polite to me, and he let me take a picture of a boy. And first, a woman, she rolled her eyes as if like maybe not take a picture of her child, because I told her I'm a relationship with someone from Bangladesh, and he would love to see that I ran into someone from his country, and can I just send him a picture? The boy is so adorable. And I mean, why distrust people? That's nothing bad, you know. That I'm an honest person. I wear a scarf, and I shouldn't be someone like a crazy people of the street or something. She rolled her eyes a little bit, but then her husband jumped in and he says, sure, you can take his picture. Take a picture with him if you want. And he was extremely nice and welcoming. And he said his name was Rashid. And my first friend in the United States who introduced me to Islam, his name was Rashid. And Rashid means the one who guides you. The one, it's Allah's name actually, Allah's attribute. Ar-Rashid means the one who guides you on the straight path. And that's how I feel about how I feel that God guided me with my manifested twin, because I want to stay on the straight path, and together we are stronger to do so. And so, anyway, his name is nice. Her name sounded very strange, and then she started asking me questions about my manifested twin, and she also sounded suspicious, like, but you met him on internet, but you never met him personally, but what about his parents? Have they met you personally? And I said, no, that's why I'm going to Bangladesh now, so we can meet personally. And I tried to explain to her how our relationship is so strong and how we met and how he thought I was a male. Started talking about our religion, and he thought just that he was having a friend, and then he realized I was a female after a while. So it didn't start like something like hooking up on internet or anything like that. Anyways, she still seemed suspicious of the whole thing and looked at me like with puzzles and like with question marks, while the husband was completely supporting. So I saw that like the child was a sign of God for me. The woman was on a dark side, not supporting my reunion. The husband was on the light side, and both his name sounded positive, she sounded negative. And I have to say this, as a Muslim woman sitting there, she was looking strange to me that she didn't have any scarf on her head. She completely westernized herself quickly. So I guess she's not a big fan of her country. And one of my reasons to go to her country is to preserve my religion, to be more, to kind of melt in with the crowds, because everybody there's most of the women wear hijabs, wear the scarf, and I feel more comfortable being within such environment. While I mean, it's just easier to be like bird of the flock. And now she has westernized herself completely, which is like lost her identity, trying to blend in here, which I don't judge, but I also think that her religion is not that strong, her faith is not that strong if she's trying to please people here rather and leave behind her religious strength. And part of the religious strength is to be covered, to keep the covenant with God. And her husband seemed religious, and so I saw light and darkness united there on that table. And I saw a child who was innocent, and his name meant innocence in my language, not in their language. They said they didn't know what it meant in Bangla, in their language, but I know what it means in my language. I'm going to post a link below so you guys can look up the etymology of the name. And so back to my friend, she started in the middle of the restaurant asking my mom, how do you support this, how do you support this? And her husband was quiet as always, embarrassed, and he's a very nice and decent man. And I smiled. I was like, why don't you, and I said, don't you want me to be happy, my friend? And she says, yeah, well, no, I will miss you, I want you to be here because I miss you. And paradox is she moved out of town into a suburban area. I never see her anymore, and if she missed me, she would be more often visiting me. So I was like more skeptical about her answer than believing her. But I said, don't worry, I will come back in 6 months. I have a return ticket, and I will come back and visit you again, maybe with my my love. Maybe we'll come together if I can help him get his documents over there to come over here if he wants to come, maybe live even here. So don't worry, we're trying to work things out this way. And I do want to visit Indian subcontinent. That's my wish for many years. And she continues. She's like, no, 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 I still don't like it. I don't like this. And then my mother, suddenly she burst into anger, not towards her, but towards me. And she said to her, I don't bless this. And so far, she seemed very happy with my manifested twin. She burst, she was fueled by this woman. And she said, no, I don't bless this. Actually, I don't know who he is. I don't know nothing. And I don't bless. And then she turned to me and she started telling me in our native language. So at least that nobody understood, but people saw that something was going on. I was extremely embarrassed. She said to me that my brother, who I mentioned in the beginning of this video, my brother, who completely abandoned my mother, she's now suddenly her hero. She says, your brother checked on his Facebook and he has many friends who look like criminals. And that's funny because my manifested twin, his friends are not showing, list is not showing on internet. Unless you're his friend. And so that's not even possible. But I said, what do you mean? Did he show you some pictures? Did you see something? What do you mean? Because I know my manifest twin has no posted photos of him on his Facebook. So I'm like, what do you mean? Who looks like criminal? Friends of his. He has some friends who look like criminals, and maybe they will put you in a whorehouse when you come to their country. And I just was frozen there when she started saying horrible things to me. I was just frozen, and I couldn't believe. I just asked the lady who owns the restaurant to bring me some doggy bags to put food in the boxes, and just to not continue this scene she was making to me. And I said, Mom, he's a believer. He goes to mosque. He prays every single um, prayer in the mosque. Please don't call him a criminal. Don't call his friends criminals. And she continued going on, and I said, how have you seen any of these pictures? How do you know? Who showed you? And she said, no, I didn't, but your brother told me he and his wife have been spying on your Facebook, and they have been looking at his profile, and blah 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 blah. She went on and on, and I was so embarrassed. It was a scene. It was drama in the middle of the restaurant of the people that I respect, and I saw just darkness trying to envelop me. And so I just called for boxes, and they brought, and then just really what hurts me the most was the owner of the restaurant. He came over and said, is it something wrong with the food? Did I do something wrong? I'm so sorry. I always try to please you with my food. And I said, no, no, uncle, your food is amazing. Actually, it's just a family emergency. Something happened. I have to go home. And I was trying to calm the situation down, and I just could not believe my mother, how unsupportive she is. And she has always been unsupportive of my love. All my life she's been unsupportive, always creating obstacles for any relationship I had. And I thought that has changed. I thought that has changed with age. I thought she would support. She's been through my journey with about my twin flame from the beginning, and I thought she would support this. And as I suspected from the beginning, the only reason why only one person she ever supported is my organic twin, and he's a runner, mind that. And she actually did a lot to chase him out, because she would, when he was in a very vulnerable state, she would uh, and try to come close to him, and that I'm interested in him, and tell him that he should go out with me and talk to me, and that pushed him even further from me. And I told her, don't, you know what you're doing? You're pushing him further away from me. Don't, why do you, he's already scared. Why do you go and insist on talking to him? If I'm not doing it, why should you do it? She always said that she wants me to be with him, but I realize now that the only reason she supported that uh, possibility of that relationship is because she knows he's a runner, and he cannot balance himself enough to come close to me, because he's scared. He's not in 3D. He's not ready for union, my organic twin. And because she knew that this is not physically manifesting, she under quotation marks supports this one only, because she knows he's running away from me, far and away. So now she's very upset that my my intentions are to reunite with my manifested twin. She can see his care for me, and she can see everything, and now trying to turn him into a bad guy. And I just I just let go. I just came home, and I continued doing my regular routine and everything that I'm doing to prepare for my reunion. And I'm just telling you all who are watching this, thank you for listening, thank you for watching. I just want to say that you can expect turbulence like this. You can expect your family and friends that you thought were your friends, and your karmic family, to give you really bad hard times. That's only sign that you're close to your union. It's just the darkness trying to go work through them and upset you and disturb you and discourage you. Don't let it. God is with you. And to finish, just I want to share something interesting. When I came home yesterday, I promised my manifested twin he wants to see a new picture of me, and I said I'll take a photo tomorrow in a new dress that I'm gonna wear to my mosque. And I wore a dress and I took a picture for him. Turned out nice, alhamdulillah. And I came home and I took off dress. I was very distressed. My legs were still shaking from this whole drama at the restaurant. And I'm taking off the dress and something, my angel tells me, look at the label on your dress. Look at the label on your dress. And I just, because I haven't even noticed what label it is. I'm not a person who cares about labels. I just buy stuff that I like. And I look at the label and it says Bangladesh, made in Bangladesh. So I'm gonna leave the video with that note and love you guys. Peace be upon you. Have a blessed weekend and after the weekend, blessed Monday and the whole week. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. Talk to you later. God bless you.